welcome back, guys. So today I want to talk about one of my favorite characters of all time in one of my favorite films of all time. He's the legend himself, said to have dropped from the skies themselves and crashed and claimed the right to become the greatest kung fu master of all time.
How did I do? There is now a level 0.
So one of the greatest things I really love about this movie is that Po goes on this journey of discovery, finding out that there is no secret ingredient, that the only thing that makes something special is to believe that it is special. And it's something that I really love about this film. And one of the greatest things and aspects of this film is that Po actually does find that secret ingredient. Po does find that unique craft to him, but it's only through that belief in himself that he's able to discover that. And that is, of course, his weight.
Yeah!
So throughout the movie, we see a lot of Po's struggles in dealing with his weight and feeling self-conscious about it and being judged by others about it. But what's really incredible is how this is all really shown visually without a single line of dialogue.
He's a panda. You're a panda. What are you gonna do, big guy? Sit on me?
Shit. Okay, so there's obviously some lines of dialogue, but I think that those points are really just there as a form of criticism coming from other characters. We don't really ever get Po himself saying it, and a lot of what he struggles with in terms of his weight definitely comes out on a more visual sense without dialogue than it does with. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. We're going to be exploring that a lot more. We will be talking about some of the dialogue that's in reference to Po's weight, but I definitely think that we'll be focusing a lot more on the visuals of it a lot as well, and how positive a message it brings forth in the film itself in regards of saying that it's okay to be a plump panda. So let's do it. So I definitely feel that in today's age, it's very taboo to talk about somebody being overweight. It's very much a big social no-no to talk about somebody or describe them as fat. It's body shaming, it's impolite. You know, everyone is really sensitive about their own body and their own shape and their own weight, including myself. And so when we talk about somebody's weight, I think we need to, there's always that cautionary care that we need to place, and it makes a point to actually emphasize the fact that it is weight that holds him back. And we see this when he's trying to cross over into the special world. We see Po trying to break through and enter the special world, but every time he tries something, it's because he's such a heavy person that he can't make it through. And we see this later on when the Furious Five start to mention and comment about Po's weight and making Po feel very self-conscious about it. And so he goes to this by going to an old mechanism that he's been relying on his whole life, which is eating when he gets stressed. And so then we get this wonderful scene between Oogway and Po, where Oogway passes on this wonderful advice to Po to not worry about what is and what was, and to move forward with life. To do with what you can with what you have now, and focus on bettering yourself now is the important steps. And Po in this discussion raises the point that he doesn't feel like he's got anything to offer, that he doesn't feel like he has anything in the way that's unique that will help him fit into this special world. And when he talks about this, we get this very powerful 3-second moment of Po jiggling his stomach and having to physically stop his own stomach from moving. What this implies is that it is his weight that he feels most self-conscious about, that he doesn't have anything to offer. And it's not until later on that we actually see that this becomes his greatest strength and his secret ingredient. So at this point, we have Po becoming more and more understanding on where he fits in with the special world right now, and that desire to change but not knowing how to go about it. So this is when Shifu comes in, and Shifu starts to learn that he needs to start taking the responsibility of teaching Po, that he is now in charge of taking Po to that step and that journey and becoming his mentor along the way. I actually think Shifu plays such a pivotal part in this story, which is one of the aspects of the story that I really love, is the mentor character having to learn to be the mentor. It's just such a fantastic play on that type of character, something that we just don't normally get to see. And so seeing a mentor rise to being a mentor is just a lot of fun. But how he does that is through understanding Po's unique qualities, that Po's secret ingredient, if you will, which is his love for food.
And it's here at this point in the story that we get what every good protagonist needs when going from zero to hero in absolutely no time at all. And the montage is that moment that we begin to see Po actually take on the skills and the traits that he's been desiring this entire time. And we actually get to see that reward of Shifu stepped up to becoming the mentor for Po. And we see that reward of Po now being able to use something which has been holding him back this whole time and is now actually being the stepping stone towards reaching his goal even further.
But then we have an awesome moment when Po is about to battle Tai Lung, and as he does it, he brushes off the insults that Tai Lung is throwing him, and then during the fight itself, something really incredible happens.
And what's fantastic is how the final fight between Po and Tai Lung actually plays out, as we get a ton of imagery and visual comedy of Po's weight being used as an advantage to the fight, whether that's Po reflecting Tai Lung's attacks or climbing up a wall to get to the scroll or being impervious to his attacks. This allows Po to get that upper hand and defeat Tai Lung, and it's also just a great visual comic moment as well. It's played out in a very lighthearted fashion, and it is one of the funniest moments in the entire show because it just does such a good job of balancing out everything it needs to, and telling the story of believing in yourself in order to achieve greatness, and that everyone's got a unique quirk, everyone's got a unique talent, and sometimes it's what you think is holding you back is actually going to be your greatest ally and your greatest strength. And that is what I think this movie really does a great job in showing and illustrating. And thus ends the tale of the legendary Po, once held back by his inability to cope with stress that life threw at him. But then through his mentors and his desire, he became a kung fu warrior and learned to not only accept himself, but who he is ultimately. And we can now see that his greatest weakness and his love for food, which was once a crux, is now his greatest strength in becoming a kung fu master.
Okay, so that's it for today, guys. I really hope you enjoyed that video. This is the first time I'm trying out this vlog style, so let me know in the comments what you think, whether or not you think I should be doing this, or do you just want to see more just classic video essayist style. Yeah, let me know down in the comments, and I will be back next week. All right, guys, take care. Bye.